Plaintiff Cheryl James says the defendant is her son, and he's been dating his girlfriend, the co-defendant, for 4 years. Cheryl claims after her son was arrested for gun possession, she retained a lawyer for him, and his girlfriend promised to repay her. However, Cheryl's suing because she hasn't received a dime. Defendant Septima Wright and her boyfriend Tom James say when Tom was arrested, Septima was 2 weeks away from giving birth. As a result, they claim Cheryl insisted on getting Tom a lawyer even though he intended to use a public defender. They're countersuing for a bail bond.
Start with you.
Hi, Judge Mathis.
Hi.
I've been on your show before in the past. I was suing a friend.
Okay,
so
you sue happy.
No, I'm more like Gulliver. I help people who need help, and they trick me. And so
Where do you know the defendants from?
Okay, Septima Wright is my son's girlfriend, and Tom James is my son.
All right.
They've been knowing each other since childhood, and they started dating in 2010. And before that, Tom was in jail in 2007 for selling drugs, and I bailed him out for $1,000. I lost that money when I came home.
Why did you lose it? They converted it to a fine, or
Yes,
for what? Okay.
to a fine. So I came home from work one day and found out that Tom had been arrested. Septima told me that
This is a separate time?
Yeah, this is another time.
When is that?
2011, the case I'm here for.
What was that for?
Having guns in a vehicle.
All right.
So he was pulled over by the police because he didn't have a seatbelt on. They checked the car and he had 2 guns. And I'm like, in Wild West, where you got guns in the car? What you need 2 guns for? So
What did he say? What did he say?
he didn't say anything. She said he needed a lawyer.
That's for sure. She had that right.
Defendant Septima Wright and her boyfriend Tom James are being sued by Tom's mother, who claims she paid for an attorney for Tom after he was arrested on gun charges.
Let me get some background before we get into the specifics. Anyone want to talk and give me some background?
Well, I've known Tom since about my younger years. Back in '99, we used to go to school together. We started back dating in 2010, and...
You have anything you want to say?
Well, yeah, when I was incarcerated, you know what I'm saying, I totally said I didn't want a lawyer. I'd rather took a public defender and fought the case from inside. From there, I don't know what happened, what transpired after that.
How long did you stay in prison?
I was in there for 4 months.
Okay. How long were you in there in 07?
And 6 days.
For selling drugs? Who were you selling, a joint?
Huh?
What was he selling? Did you only get 6 days?
Well, he didn't. No, I bonded him out for $1,000.
He wasn't sentenced?
No,
I was sentenced to 1014 probation.
Okay, for how long?
1 year.
Okay. And what happened 4 years later that make you get involved again in criminal activity? You had gotten your second chance.
I was involved in a dispute, and you know, I didn't feel comfortable, I didn't feel safe, so you know, as it transpired, I got caught with guns. And,
okay. All right. And were you sentenced for that?
Yes, I was sentenced to 18 months at 50%.
All right. You going back again, or?
No, it's over with.
Okay. And what are you doing with your life now?
Right now I'm in school for automotive technology.
Good. Right. And tell me, ma'am, how he owes, or the 2 of them?
Well, she told me that it was some friends of his was gonna bring $2,000 over. She was waiting on him to come. So I knew that he needed a lawyer with guns. So I contacted a lawyer, and I waited around till like the 19th, because it was like October 3rd when it happened. And so the 24th, I went down there and retained the lawyer for $1,000. And I asked her, when is they coming with the money? She said they coming.
She was to bring another $2,000?
No, she was supposed to be paying $2,000 for the lawyer. I put $1,000 on my credit card.
So she was supposed to bring the $2,000, one to pay off your lawyer, because you put how much on your credit card?
Altogether, I put $2,015.
Okay, gotcha. She was to bring that in cash.
Right. But December came along, no money. The lawyer called, asked for more money, so I got her $515. And so January came along, still no money. And I asked her about the money. So the lawyer wanted more money, so I gave her another additional $500 on my credit card. So I asked her, where's the money at? When you gonna give me the money? She said, oh, I'm gonna give it to you. Don't worry, I'm gonna give it to you when I get my income tax. And I heard it through the grapevine.
You've been here before,
know,
so
that's
you
what I'm
should have
saying.
known better than that.
That's what I'm saying.
You knew you weren't getting your money when she told you that.
I knew it. And then I seen Tom, he come home. I said, oh, what about my money? She said, I don't owe you nothing.
Who said that?
Miss Wright. I don't owe you nothing. And I asked my son, I said, that ain't right. She lied to me. Why would you let her do that? He said, Mama, I'm gonna pay you when I get on my feet. And he been out of jail almost a year. He still ain't got on his feet yet. I've been buying him clothes, shoes, pay a cell phone bill. I love my son.
He is in school, right?
Yeah, he is in school. I love my son.
Okay.
But what love got to do with it?
All right.
I just need my money judged, that's all.
All right. Ma'am, sir, what do you want to tell me about the 2000?
Well, first off, Tom got arrested in October. When we got a phone call from him on October 3rd, she was talking about getting a lawyer because I had a baby due 2 weeks away. He told her don't get it. I told her as well that he didn't want a lawyer. She said he don't know what he's talking about. He in jail. He need to come out and help. So I agree. His friend said they was gonna come up with $2,000 and bring them. Now she's
Bring it where?
Bring it over to the house to put down towards his bond, not a lawyer, because he said he didn't want a lawyer.
They must have got lost.
Right.
You did.
They never came.
Right. Got
So,
lost.
and I got my taxes in February. I went and bonded them out. Nothing about no money. No one ever showed. She paid for the lawyer. He went and did his time in May. I received the rest of my bond money back, and
The lawyer took out a $1,200 off the bail's bond, leaving her with $2,100.
You ever agree to pay your mother?
I told him I didn't want a lawyer from
I
the
know,
beginning.
I understand that. After you got one, though, did you ever agree to pay after your mother got you a lawyer?
No.
All right. Never told her you would, and neither did you?
I never agreed to pay her for a lawyer, no.
Ma'am?
They agreed. He said he was gonna get it back to me once he got on his feet. She said, I got you, I'm gonna pay you.
Those discussions never occurred?
Never.
Defendant Septima Wright and her boyfriend Tom James are being sued by Tom's mother, who claims she paid for an attorney for Tom after he was arrested on gun charges.
When was the last time you talked to them about it?
Well, I already knew. I had told her not to come back to my house, in which he sneaks her in. So I knew she was never gonna pay me. And then he just told me recently, Ma, I got you. As soon as I get on my feet.
Recently as in when?
Within a year. Within
You don't
a
remember
year.
perhaps the season, the month? Spring, summer, fall?
He got out in October. He said it in October.
Okay. All right, how did that conversation come about? Where were you?
I picked him up. I picked him up after they let him out on the bus or the train, wherever he got off on.
His girlfriend didn't?
No, I picked him up and brought him to my house because he was.
Why do you think his girlfriend didn't? You don't have any idea, ma'am?
No, because she wasn't sending him no money and she wasn't coming to my house, so she had cut me off.
She didn't send him any money?
Nope.
Did she didn't put any money on his books?
Nope.
And didn't pick him up for jail?
Nope. And he's
that
still
true?
with her.
Ma'am?
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't working at the time, and I have 3 children
Okay.
at home, so
You
I
couldn't
didn't
pick
send
him up?
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I didn't have a car at the time.
Okay. All right. Did you go with her?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
We wasn't even on talking terms.
Why not?
Because of the money for the lawyer.
So, when was the last time you discussed the lawyer money with her?
It's been about since he got out.
Okay. Did your mother pick you up?
Yeah.
Did you all discuss the monies?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Not to my knowledge. All right. You know whether you did or not. That's a very, very memorable moment when your mama picked you up from jail after 9 months. I promise you that was memorable. And you knew what you and your mother discussed. I miss you, honey. I love you, honey. Now where's my money? And you knew the money was discussed, or you knew it was not. Not to my knowledge. You have knowledge. Either it was discussed or it wasn't discussed. That's a very memorable time. Go ahead, sir. Your counterclaim for $1,000. How does she owe you?
She owes her, not me.
How does she owe you?
For the rest of the money for attorney fees.
How does she?
Because she had an
You
agreement with
said you had nothing to do with attorney fees. Your claim is dismissed. Yours is granted. You have knowledge of that? Have a good day. Judge me for the plaintiff.
son. I love you, Septima.
I love you too, Mama.
Can I get a hug?
No.
Are you having problems collecting rent from your former roommate? If so, ask me about it on my website, askjudgemathis.com.